Welcome to today's video. So as you can see, I finally bit the bullet and decided what kind of spare or recovery system I was going to put in the MDX Type S. I struggled a lot because I really wanted to get a trailer hitch and put on a tire swing mount because I only typically need something extra when I'm out camping and off-roading. So I figured if I got the hitch, which is relatively inexpensive, I could just put on a tire swing, which you can find used for a couple $100, have an all-terrain tire, full-size spare, be good to go, right? So the problem that I kept running into was all of the accessory pieces that needed to go with it. So yes, I could have just got the hitch, but in order for the kick to work right, I would have had to have gotten a different kick sensor, including a different panel as well, because this is obviously different. And then if I ever wanted to tow, I'd have to get the transmission cooler, because right now this is only rated for around 3,500 pounds. And if I wanted to tow and make the hitch actually usable, which I probably would want that, it was another, I think, $2,500. So having a spare, having a recovery option in the event of an emergency just didn't seem to make sense to me to go through that route and spend all that money for something that I honestly never used in the Pilot. I think having a spare is a great idea. Something I was really concerned about though is the size of the spare. Let's get into some numbers. So the spare tire is a 155/80/19. So we have a 19-inch spare wheel. Most of the other spares are an 18-inch wheel. That equates to a 28.8-inch diameter. The OE is a 275/40/21, which is a 29.7-inch diameter. So we're around 3%, roughly an inch there. But when you step up to the Wild Peak trails, that's a 30.4-inch diameter. So now we're up to 5.6%. 28.8 inches to 30.4 inches. We're almost 2 inches difference. So definitely not something I want to drive on very long when I do get a flat and I have the all-terrains on there. But with that said, let's take a look at the kit. Hopefully we can get this thing installed relatively quick. I'll go through the steps that I ended up taking to install the kit. And of course, obviously do it at your own risk. Do whatever you feel comfortable with within your means. And hopefully this is a quick install. Here's the kit. I will say it is substantially less expensive to buy this as a kit instead of a la carte. Luckily, you're only gonna need a few tools. You should get a torque wrench, Phillips screwdriver, a 10mm ratchet, and then we'll go over everything that's included in here. So we have the spare tire hoist, which is right there. This will allow you to run a full-size spare if you do choose to put one on there. The problem with doing that is how low the full-size wheel and spare fits. So if you're off-roading, it definitely does affect your ground clearance. Obviously we have the jack. We have the strap, which we're going to end up putting in here to hold the jack. We have a new warning label for the door. We have a warning label for the spare tire. We have a couple screws to hold down the strap. We have 5 10mm bolts right here, which are going to hold down this baby. And then we have a new cover. So this also came with it. We're going to switch over our fuel lid. So let's empty out the back end of here and get this baby safe and sound. Something I wanted to show you guys was taking a look at these things right here. They are exactly the same. And I couldn't figure out what was different on these until I realized when you turn it over, the difference is simply letting you know that one is where your fuel filler neck is here, but also the other one is showing you that there's jack tools underneath this. First things first, this is the spare tire caution label that we're going to put right above the valve stem. So I've already cleaned this right now. I'm just going to peel this off and put it on, hopefully make it relatively straight. There we go. This just pivots on the bottom, so you're going to push in, lift up. You're going to remove this plug, keep this, you're going to reuse it. All right, here's the underneath. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bolts that are going to go in here. What's interesting about this is it's a little bit offset. So you would think that this will go in straight, but it doesn't. See the holes? But if you pivot it just a little bit, there we go, all the holes line up. So let's install this baby. All right, before we start, we do make sure that this is in the center, and it is. Thankfully, that all lined up well. In addition to that, we have to make sure that when this is in there, it's perfectly centered, so that we will check once this is hanging if it's perfectly level. If it's off, then it means that we have an issue and need to start over. So again, make sure that those 12 millimeter bolts are torqued to 16 foot-pounds, and you should be good to go there. All right, let's get this thing up. So here's the new cover. This is what it looks like. It says spare tire. So we're going to reinstall our grommet that we saved. Okay, next we're going to remove this here. Okay, so this whole piece comes away. As you can see, we just have clips holding everything in. So interestingly enough, the jack strap and the 2 screws, which look like this, are going to secure this to the behind of the panel. So as you can see in the panel, there's a small strap inlet here and also a small one here. Now I'm going to install this so that I can pull down from the top to cinch it down. I don't know if there's a right or wrong way because it doesn't say in the directions, but we're going to slide one through here and one through here, like that. And then our jack will fit right here. So we should just be able now to put our screws in here. Here, one screw. So this is how it would look if you had the correct pieces. Again, this needs to change out, but that's basically it. All right, last but not least, we have our new sticker. All right, just like that, we are all finished up. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments down below. It took me maybe 30 minutes-ish to throw this thing on there, and obviously I was filming, right? So it's not too intense. It's a pretty straightforward install process. There is a specific way, which I showed in the video, on how to put the jack in the right slot, strapping it down, but other than that, that's pretty much it.